What's up, troopers? We're here for another episode of Notorious Scoundrels. I'm Evan Paul. That over there is Mike Berry. And Mike, there's another title we can attach to your name now, right? Or actually, no. It's you already have this title attached to your name, but you're keeping it.
Yeah. I think that's more accurate.
The champion of the Nova Open GT yet again.
Yep.
How many times is this now?
This is 2. For what it's worth, I could be wrong about this because of the pandemic and stuff, but I think the Notorious Scoundrels has won Nova for like the last 4 or 5 years in a row.
So was it 3 Kyles and then 2 Mikes?
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I would have to go back and check the tapes on the
dominance.
Yeah.
It's like that. I feel like this is like putting on the pressure, maybe just to make sure next year, like I should come over there, not to try to win, but just like to run interference.
Yeah.
Try and keep the bogeys off your tail.
Get you to draft off my car.
Yeah.
You run interference back there. It's just Nova's our house, man. That's just it's our house. You gotta defend it.
Yeah, as much as the Fifth Trooper is slowly becoming more of a Pacific Northwest centered network, given the fact that our new webmaster is also from here, and that I'm here. Matt Bronson is sort of from British Columbia, although he's living in Scandinavia right now.
I was gonna say,
I don't doesn't count right now.
You can't use Matt to defend that.
He's not enough to tip the scales. So I guess we're like kind of it's still East Coast actually, because Owen and Isaac are also both East Coast. So you guys are keeping it real for now, but eventually we're gonna pull things out west.
Owen's literally like within a mile and a half of me.
Yeah, y'all live right next to each other. So hey, that's a good opportunity to shout out the fact that, to remind folks, if you don't know already, Fifth Trooper podcast is back. They just, as we were recording this, they just aired the 3rd episode. They're doing a great job, and it's just cool to have another cast up that they can talk about different stuff. Have you? You probably haven't heard the latest one because it just came out, right, Mike?
I think I listened to it during work this morning, actually.
Oh, okay.
Did
you hear what they were saying about us, Mike?
Yeah, I heard all sorts of
stuff.
Yeah,
what do you think? Like, do you think that we're just a bunch of edgelords who only care about winning? And
I am. I don't know about you.
Fair. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, I think that's accurate. Is that I'm probably like 2/3 of the way towards you, and then there's you, and then we have TFT to again like talk to the people who play the game to have that F word that we sort of wince when we say it, but the play the game have fun.
They're having fun in different ways.
Right. Their definition of fun. It's different from your Conan the Barbarian definition of fun. But yeah, check them out. They're doing great. Owen and Isaac, and they have their own feed on podcasts. So just want to remind folks of that. So your podcast app, search for their separate feed. But if you're watching the videos, then it's easy peasy. You just got to be a subscriber to the Fifth Trooper Network on YouTube. About that, by the way, Michael, I'm going to take a moment to do something that I don't usually like to do, which is to mention one of the things that those other YouTubers like talk about at the beginning of every video, and that I never want to become these people.
This is the point in the video where Evan's going to tell you that he's not like all those other
I'm not like all
creators.
The rest of the YouTubers. I will not tell you to like or comment. You can do whatever you want as far as liking and commenting. However, if y'all wouldn't mind doing the subscribing, and the reason for this has to do with the fact that all of YouTube is governed by this like mother brain called the algorithm, and it not you, it decides what shows up on your feed. Like, anybody who's been paying attention to their YouTube feed will just know that you can be subscribed to several channels, but if it thinks that instead of all the channels you're subscribed to, that you like really need to see this video about like the top 10 tanks in the European theater in World War II, made by somebody that you've never watched their videos before, but because it's like, it knows you. It's like, all right, you're a male in, your like 40s to 50s, which means that you're probably really into World War II history. Time to show you this video about tanks. So anyway, we're trying to like overpower the algorithm. And to do that, we would like our subscriber numbers to go up. We're almost to 7,500, which is cool. I'm hoping that we can get to the old 10K so that I can pretend that we would have like some kind of a medal that gets attached to the website for like reaching the puniest of all milestones that a YouTube channel can have, that they don't give out anymore because like the real channels have way more than that already. But in order to help things out, we're announcing a couple of giveaways. So for new subscribers in September, I have a couple boxes of Legion that are not gonna be getting used, and so why not just like give them away? We will pay shipping, all the good stuff. There's going to be a runner-up, which is a Wicket and Logray. I know that's like a little one, but that can be the start of your $500 journey to having an Ewok army.
To Ewok greatness.
Yes, it would be like it would be the free sample that gets you hooked on Ewok greatness. But you
too can be a golden god.
That's right. You can use Wicket in a non-Ewok army, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's funny that like you barely actually ever see that.
Well, I mean, like I used to run Wicked in my Rebel lists, but that was like, in the before times.
Yeah, it's true. And they took away Surge to Crit, and they really soured me on them. But hey, Wicked and Logray, that'll be one. But then the big prize is actually a Clone Wars core set. Now, notice that I did not say a clone starter set. I do not have one of those in hand, but I do literally have a new in package Clone Wars core set. And hey, like those minis are still legal. You got quite a few of them, and it's free. So we just wanted to motivate some folks to like try their luck, be a subscriber, win a box of stuff. But there's also folks who are already supporting us via the Patreon, and we want to show some dap to them too. We have a new member, just goes by Sean, and then random member, great name, Eneko Lobato, which is a cool name if that is like your real name on Earth, but also I think it could double as a Star Wars name, so you're going to be like good no matter what. And then for our current patrons, we at the end of the month also are going to do a random drawing for a box of Aqua Droids, and this specifically is a box of Aqua Droids that I traded some bolt action, like it was at Adepticon, and I got like the pack, right, like the fun bag, and swag so I got bag. Like so there were a lot of people who were like, I have this Legion and Shatterpoint boxes that I don't want, and they wanted to trade for other stuff, or that they were willing to sell them for dirt cheap, like $15 for a sleeper cell, or $15 or $20 for an Aqua Droid. It's a pretty good deal.
They were still making money on those too.
They were, exactly. Like that's the crazy thing. But if you have the time, again, if you do go to Adepticon, try to get that bag. And then if you have a little bit of extra time at the Adepticon, and like if you play the Atomic Mass games, for instance, just with a little bit of time investment and hop on the Facebook group, like you're gonna be able to buy so many like cheap expansions. It's it's out of this world, and then you can be a hero when you come back home.
Yep.
But yeah, we got some aqua droids that again will pay shipping. We will send them out to a random patron of any rank, and then we'll announce that at the end of the month. So we really appreciate everybody who's supporting us. We have the Fifth Trooper cast. We are still in the process of searching for a painting a person to do painting videos for us, as well as potentially a Shatterpoint podcast. So Doc Velo at thefifthtrooper.com if you want to reach out about any of that. We're still considering all takers along those lines. And we're just looking to grow. We're looking to cover all the angles of these games that we really enjoy. And it's been a lovely 3 months or so since I took over stuff here. And just want to keep it growing, keep it going, especially in this time when we have the new starters and we're going to get a bunch of new players in the game. So I apologize for all of that stuff about asking people to do things for us.
Jeez, Evan, how dare you,
Mike?
How dare you voice a call to action?
It's call to action's a little bit more dramatic. It's not like, you know, this isn't exactly like the Sarah McLachlan music playing in the background. It's like, did you know that the Fifth Trooper has fewer subscribers than it wants to? You too can be a part of the worldwide effort to help.
Click that subscriber button, people. Just do it.
Yeah. What about the little dogs and cats?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we got that. So, Mike, we recorded. We're a little bit out of order because the thing that's out is the emergency podcast that we recorded.
It is.
What's going to come out between us recording this and this coming out is the episode we recorded before that with Isaiah and Caitlin Wallace about Evergreen Open. That's got some good stuff in it. And then as we record this, we're going to be talking about Nova. We're going to be talking about Tacticon, which was an event that actually ran. They decided to run with the custom Rebel and Imperial officers and agents. So it was basically like our first test of them in competitive play. But all that said, there's something we have to get to first. And so we're going to start with a correction on my part, Michael. I made a statement last time that I forget. It's like, this is almost a quote that since coming from FFG, the articles have typically been complete in the cards that they cover that come out in a given expansion, and that we have not really been having any surprises since then. Mm-hmm. And so I said, you know, we could check against like the number of upgrades that are on the box against what was shown, but you know, if there's a mismatch, it's probably because of some, you know, it's probably because they put impact grenades in there or something. Well, Mike, go ahead and tell me how wrong I was.
Well, Evan, I would like to point out that I think before the cast, when you were making that statement, I was like, I wouldn't be so sure about that generally. Like, I was like, I think it's totally possible they left some stuff out. And
I smacked you down. I was like, I don't want any hearsay on this podcast.
You totally were. You were like, you know, there's no way they're going to do that this time. They've never done that before. And while you may have been right, you were also wrong.
Right. But I should have been right, but I was in fact very wrong.
Yeah.
So Mike, why don't you tell us about thermal detonators?
Yeah, so thermal detonators is a rebel agent or rebel officer only upgrade in the grenade slot.
Oh, that's why they have the grenade slot.
It is.
We finally
it
found
makes
out.
Way more sense
now. A lot more sense now.
I'm gonna save the points cost till later. It's discard. It is a weapon profile, so you can use it once. It's like Boba or Jin's flamethrower, right?
Sure.
The weapon profile is melee to range 1.
Oh, that's a good start for grenade. Only impacts are also that, as far as I'm aware.
It is blast and impact 4.
Oh, blast and impact?
Yeah, it's
Wow, because
crazy.
like usually, they
You-
separated those out in concussion and impact grenades.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you knew that, but
I
like
did.
I
I
guess
did.
like they thought that those keywords were pretty useful, and this is a discard. But I mean, having both those is pretty good.
I mean, both of those are pretty good, but maybe the
Sure.
kicker is that this is 4 red dice on the attack.
What?
Yeah, you heard me.
Come
And,
on.
and how much do you think? What steep price? Like if combat armor, which upgrades your white saves to red saves, is 15 points. How much do you think a 4 red die melee attack is worth?
I would actually, literally, honestly say that would be worth 8 points.
Okay. Well, it turns out it's 3.
Oh
Turns out it's 3.
goodness!
And as a kicker, the rebel agent and rebel officer have a sweet gun you can take that gives you Arsenal 2. So, and it's not just Arsenal 2 just when you use the gun, it's Arsenal 2 whenever. So,
That would be good if they had a decent melee profile.
3 black, 4 red seems
Oh,
pretty good. uh or perhaps what is it? 5 red, 1 white or something like that.
it's 5 red, one white when
Lethal
doing
lethal 1.
the ranged attack. Yeah,
Yeah, at range 1.
at range one. Yeah.
Seems pretty good uh for the hardy 3 points. This is a non-unique upgrade, so you can take it on every rebel agent or
Non-unique.
officer you have. Um Yeah, yeah, that's thermal detonator. Uh,
Now, Mike, I've already been planning ahead a little bit for a Festivus episode
mm-hmm.
that will have both us and the Fifth Trooper guys all on one big happy family episode, so that we can all air our grievances.
Sure.
I mean, it's it's Festivus tradition. God bless that Seinfeld episode. It's definitely like one of the best. I think I need to air grievances a little bit early for this one.
I mean, I think we could probably air some grievances together.
But yeah, let's do it. Mike, you start in the spirit of early holidays.
I mean, so I think the first thing I'd like to point out here is that I want to draw comparisons to Din and Boba. I already made the flame protector comparison, but I want to make it again because I actually think it is an apt one. There are a lot of similarities between these upgrades.
Yeah.
They obviously take up different slots. However, they are both discards and they both give you blast. They're both melee to range 1, except in the slight deviation with Boba, where you can extend his, I think, range to 2 with some effect.
So this is one pip that you're talking about?
It might be his one
The,
pip.
the Rebel Boba one pip that you can extend range out?
Yeah, it's one of them. It's like a cool thing you can do, right?
You used to be able to fire support with the Mark II along with that to do the range 2 flamethrower Mark II fire support. That was a really mean thing, by the way. I'm glad you can't do that anymore.
Yeah. So the thing that I'd like to call out here is that the flamethrower, generally hitting the average target, is going to add 4 or 5 red dice.
Indeed.
Like roughly. Like if you hit a like full health normal squad,
right,
that's about how many dice you're going to add, right?
Yeah.
So those are, I believe those upgrades are 5 points right now. I would have to go back and like check the record books, but I believe they're 5. They're on characters that are significantly more expensive already. So not only are you paying a premium from the character, you're paying a premium for the effect. Is sometimes the effect of the flamer like better than that, and that you can get more than 4 or 5 dice? Yes, but there's also a lot of times when the effect is worse. Right? It is
if
like
you're trying to hit Luke Skywalker with a flamethrower, it's not very useful.
It's not very useful,
Yeah.
right? Your flamethrower doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas this thermal detonator is just always 4 red dice, which is like I think this is like Chewie's melee attack, basically, on its own.
It
minus lethal.
He is 4 red lethal 1.
Yeah.
There's no other keywords, and he
Yeah.
has Surge to hit. Yes.
So you're telling me that we have a what will like unseen saboteur thermal detonator guy is plus the arsenal thing, which is 8 points, 71 point unit. They can hit harder in melee than Chewie, or frankly most Jedi. Like obviously it doesn't have Pierce, thank God.
Yeah.
Though it does in the range 1 pool potentially.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
It's got lethal 1 potentially.
like 5 red, 1 white at range 1 is like getting very close to Dooku's lightsaber. Right? Like so it's very cheap for that effect on a character that is already insanely cheap. Um I don't know. I think I don't want to like go down the this is busted rabbit hole, but this on paper looks crazy to me.
It certainly like enhances the value of the rebels by quite a bit, even compared to what we were estimating. And I think that where we landed was that the Empire characters, because they had access to command control, seemed like they may have come out a little bit on top, but that the rebels had like a little bit more flexibility with their builds in general. And now, like, on top of that flexibility, you're adding a hefty dose of just like raw dice power. And like, so that part is, to me, like pushing them at least a bit ahead of where the Empire came out. In the grand scheme of things, command control is still an insanely strong effect, and even that might be undercosted at actual 8 points. We'll have to see, but I think that I want to make a distinction, because I think sometimes when folks hear us opine about things like this, is that there's assumptions that get made, and I totally understand why those assumptions get made. I don't think that Mike or I, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here, I don't think either of us is saying that this is like going to push Rebels above the top, and that they're going to be like standing on top of, and that they're suddenly going to switch places with CIS, and that they're going to be smushing everybody else down.
Standing on top of the tournament pile with their thermal detonators.
Thermal detonators in hand.
No.
So yeah, like, we're not saying that, but there sometimes when something comes out that it seems to, at least to us, obviously like stand outside of the curve, is that it's hard to describe. It adds a little bit of a woozy feeling to the overall balance of the game, and this is the same way that I felt when Sleeper Cell first came out. When they came out alongside the Riot Control Squad, and like there was a certain disparity, some might say, between the power levels of those two units. They were in different ranks, blah blah blah, different factions, but there was, the Rebels felt very good, but then the Empire also, like, a lot of Empire players were like, we really got this, and then they got Sleeper Cell, and so, granted, now we're at the point where we can like very much say that both sides got an upgrade that feels like so good that it feels a little bit like cheating, given that Empire got command control and then Rebels got this. And so maybe it's going to equal out, maybe, to where the custom Super Tac and the custom Jedi are also going to have some insane upgrades that come along with them.
I mean, hey man,
what are the chances, Mike? What do you think?
4 red die melee attacks are only 3 points, man, those Jedi are going to be real good.
So that was all preamble. I'm sorry that took a while, but here's my grievances. They actually mostly have to do with game feel and theme, honestly. Like that's where most of this is sort of making me a little bit iffy on all this.
This is interesting. This is not where I thought we were headed, but continue.
No, it's this is the thing that bothers me. Like, I got my start in the 5th Trooper, Mike, by writing about the cannon accuracy, and it was extremely tongue in cheek, but writing about the cannon accuracy of Rebels, and then like went from there to write a bunch of like increasingly insane articles. One of them, I sort of like had to pretend that I was getting more and more drunk as the article went on. That was the Republic one, of course, and I had a lot of fun. But this is a thing that I don't talk about on the cast a ton, but I do hold close to my heart. Is that when there's something in the game that feels so off, it does take me out of it, and it makes me enjoy it a little bit less. And there's several things about this. Number one, uh, carrying a pistol around that suddenly makes you better able to punch someone and shove a grenade in their face at the same time doesn't exactly make a ton of sense. But the thing that's even more important than that is that half of this is that the thermal detonator is like a really iconic Star Wars weapon.
It is.
It's literally the only grenade that is memorable from the films, right?
That's not true. That's not true.
Name an okay. Hang on. There's also the.
Have you never seen a blue ball?
The what?
The blue balls.
Oh well, okay. That's is that a grenade?
They are totally grenades.
It's more of a actual like bomb at that point.
I guess maybe the big
the ones on the slingshots. Yeah, that's a grenade.
Yeah,
You're right.
Those are grenades.
Okay,
those
that's
are for sure
fair.
grenades.
But you know, but that one, we'll see how right they get that. By the way, shout out to Isaac on Speaking of Fit Trooper podcast for having the guts to say that he was not like super down with the Gungan train.
He's allowed to be wrong. It's fine. It's fine.
Mike and I don't agree on this, but I'm with you, Isaac. I just wanted you to know. So yeah, the thermal detonator is very iconic. It's as far as I know, it's the only time that a grenade has been named in a Star Wars film, because C-3PO freaks out. He's holding a thermal detonator, and there's like it's a whole scene that's sort of like built around threatening to blow up a grenade. And in that scene, everybody in the whole throne room is freaking the hell out because one person is holding up one grenade, and this throne room is very big. It's like the size of half a football field. Yeah. And everybody is freaking out. Half a football field, Mike. I'm not going crazy.
I would say that room is reasonably range one.
I don't know. They had a whole song and dance number in there, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, like range one is a 12-inch diameter on the tabletop. That's a pretty large.
We're gonna have to.
That's like a whole bunker.
I'm sure somebody has like measured the like width from looking vertically of what's the width of somebody as you're looking down on them from a bird's eye view. And then, you can measure that to say a stormtrooper is this wide, and therefore range one is actually this much.
Sure.
I always assumed it was like 10 feet. Or, 15 feet maybe. But like Jabba's throne room is way bigger than 15 feet across. Everybody in there is freaking out, Mike. Everybody.
Sure.
And so I looked up what the blast radius of a thermal detonator is, and I'm gonna double check this. We're gonna go to good old Wikipedia, since they're of course there are folks, God bless them, who will really spend their time gazing at Wikipedia to make sure that nobody puts something in the canon section that doesn't belong there. If they write something about Grievous and then they're like, that was from the Tartakovsky Clone Wars cartoon, get it the hell out of the canon section.
They will.
There's people who do that. So the range of a thermal detonator is a 5-meter radius.
So 15 feet.
Yeah. So range one, I can deal with it.
Okay.
Fine. It's a grenade.
Yep.
Melee?
I mean, it maybe is not. I would make the argument that no grenade in the game should be usable in melee unless it also did damage to you.
The impact grenade I can kind of buy because, listen, I am not in the military. Like I know that there are some active duty folks who play Legion. So if you want to chime in and give us some facts, then please go ahead. But from action movies, I know that like, and also Call of Duty, that there is this
Yikes.
concept of like the door charge that they can use to blow open a door, and that it's like a directed explosion. And so that's what I
Sure.
imagine an impact grenade is.
I mean,
Is
a
that
grenade
it's like a
implies
sticky
that you're
bomb in World War
throwing
II.
it, though. Like,
It
I don't know.
true. Well, you can, and for like the thing I do know a little bit more about is that like in World War II, the sticky bomb that you could use to try to like blow up the treads on a tank.
Sure.
I'm really like explaining to YouTube why their algorithm wanted to show me tank videos and stuff right now, but like people did either throw those at tanks or try to directly place them on them. And then they ran away after that, to be fair.
Sure.
But like with the impact grenade, I was like, okay, it's like a door charge and it's like exploding downward. So I was like buying that one a little bit. But a thermal detonator is just a big explosion.
Yeah, I mean, I think along with most range profiles in the game that can also be used in melee, there is just like a certain amount of uh
Sure, but you know, a pistol or a shotgun, you could just like sort of just like nudge it up against somebody and shoot it, and it wouldn't be like the most insane thing to do in the world.
sure, sure.
Again, if if people frighteningly do know the details of how this actually works in real life, then maybe do or don't tell us about it. Uh, but a grenade, Michael, like
I mean, the
a
fact that
blowy
this
a blowy
doesn't
uppy grenade.
have like self-destruct on it or something, like it
Yeah.
is kind of weird.
So that's my thing is that it's this awesome attack that is limited to unnamed characters. And
So,
what this all relates to is that I am I am wondering if a rebel agent is going to have a better uh, melee attack than any of the customizable Jedi will because of this grenade.
um, it will definitely have a better melee attack, I think, than some of them, for sure. I there's no doubt in my mind about
Then
that.
some of them, sure, and that's fine. It will be if it's better than all of them. I will be disappointed, and I'm not talking about raging here. We're not going to be writing any letters. We're not going to be staging any
This is our
flame
letter, Evan. Come
campaigns.
on.
Uh, but I'll be a little bit sad because just like some unnamed under like Major Bren Derlin over there should not be running up with a thermal detonator and then punching somebody and mushing it in their face while it explodes and then not taking any damage back to do more damage than a Jedi with a lightsaber. And that I've said my piece.
I don't necessarily think you're wrong. I think for me the problem is broader than that. I don't really care if they're like better than the thing is that the answer to that is almost certainly going to be true because this profile is better than the majority of Jedi in the game already. Frankly, like that's just kind of what it comes down to
Like
is that
Maul and Asajj can do more damage, but they're like there aren't many people other than them. And then like Anakin and
like
Vader.
yeah, like the big names obviously like but
It's better than
honestly
Obi-Wan.
But honestly, it's better than Obi-Wan. It's better than Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's better than it's better than Yoda. It's literally three black better than Yoda minus the Pierce, right? So like I
It's a lot better than the Inquisitors. God bless them.
it's for sure, right? So there are a lot of lightsaber users that this attack is already better than.
Yes,
This profile is actually just straight up one of the best melee profiles in the game.
it is.
Is it one time use? Yes, but
Yes.
honestly, like the you know that's not that big a deal these days. Like you only need to do it once or
There's only 5
twice,
rounds in the game.
and frankly, for 71 points or they vary between like 71 and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
76 or whatever, but it's not unreasonable to take 3 or 4 of these guys, I think. And a thermal detonator is certainly at its current points value stapled to every operative and agent you take. It's not it that is clear as day. Like if you're taking a rebel operative, you're taking a rebel agent, you're putting a thermal detonator on them. Like
For sure.
it's just happening.
The only one where I might leave it off is their backline commander guy.
Even then, like,
I guess like if somebody's coming at you,
well, I
you
mean,
can
like,
just use it.
imagine if Leia all of a sudden had the option to throw seven dice at something that got close to her that were 4 red and 3 black. All of a sudden, she'd be a lot better for essentially free. Like, like if Veers, Krennic, Leia, any of those supporting characters had any inkling of the ability to like kind of like morph into this like melee monster for a turn, all of a sudden you've got a backline holder that can actually handle like holding a back point against some arcs or something, like, and whereas normally Leia or Krennic or Veers just die to the arc in the back
which is how it feels like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, or the sleeper cell, or whatever, right? But like, and frankly, a 65-point unit that is like built as a support character definitely shouldn't be able to do that from like just a gameplay mechanically how it works sort of thing. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this upgrade plays out. I think before the detonator, the rebel officer and agent were definitely just were better chassis than the Imperial counterparts, but it's not particularly close once you add in the detonator. The detonator is just like all of our guys are now guys with stun batons in addition to everything else they do.
The thing that Empire had was that a stun baton agent had a little bit of a more interesting melee profile and a charge profile. Yeah. Because they would, like, if you're talking tip of the spear, then you can be double move charging with an immobilized weapon, and that was pretty cool, and that was setting them apart because their ranged options are crap on the Empire side.
Oh, I mean, they basically don't exist.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like... and whereas the Rebel, it is sort of funny because now like the Rebel melee option is to take the pistol. And then allow the pistol to enable you to, again, explode a detonator in your own face at no cost, at the same time as punching somebody, because that's just what they do. I
feel pretty confident that probably not the immediate next points update. Although if the changes aren't in yet, like, you guys should probably do that. The thermal detonators is not going to remain 3 points, nor should it. I think. Even I think this is an upgrade that even if this upgrade turns out to be bad, should not be 3 points. This is an upgrade that should be somewhere in the realm of, I don't know. Should definitely be more than the flamers.
It's going to be 3 points until April.
Maybe.
Like. Definitely.
It probably. I think that's like a 90% likelihood that is true.
Past this prologue is like, and I do understand the reason why, but that changes don't happen within the first 6 months of release.
Generally, there's always there. Last time, Evan, you said that we definitely for sure had all the information. You were very wrong. So
how dare you remind me of that?
But I think, I don't know.
Mike, did you know that most thermal detonators contain beradium, a highly unstable chemical compound that can blow a 2-meter deep hole into pure permacite?
Permacite?
I don't even know what permacite is.
Not permacrete?
No, permacite.
I guess that's maybe what they made the permacrete out of.
It's it's a composite. It's like what the picture they're showing is the planetary ion gun. So it's like a high density ceramic. So like the stuff that real armor would be made out of, and it can blow a 2-meter hole in it, which means that the most ideal way to use it would be to walk up to somebody and then hold it right here and go, your move, Mr. Jedi, bam. and then and then Obi-Wan takes 5 wounds and you take none.
Doesn't even trigger deflect.
That'll show you to mess with me, buddy. You didn't use your 2-pip. You can't deflect it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I apologize for the ranting. Not really. But I hope it wasn't too hard to listen to.
I mean, look, Rebel players, you should be basking in the glory of this pack.
Yeah, hey. It's not like I'm mad at Rebel players for having access to this. Like they should use it. I know if this came out for Gar, I promise I would be saying the same thing, and then I would be using it in every tournament that I went to.
Yep.
We try to be equal around here. Okay, so let's move on to talking about a tournament where I don't know whether they had the info on the thermal detonator because
none of the rebels took the officer or agent.
Yeah, because I mean it's hard to tell because the rebel finishers, interestingly, in this tournament were like it starts at 20, and I haven't yet seen a list that has any of the
there looks
officer
like one.
agent in there.
It looks like there's one.
And that one, did they put like an impact grenade on there? Because if they did, then they probably proxied it.
No, it is like a fully loaded, like into the fray tenacity combat armor.
Oh wow!
Vibro.
They probably would have liked to. Yeah, they probably would have liked to have had thermal detonator.
I suspect if the thermal detonator was a thing they were aware of, they would have taken it.
Probably. But anyway, the tournament is Tacticon. Tacticon is a yearly tournament that they hold down there in Denver. Denver is one of like the Legion epicenters of the world, I would say. I think of in the U.S., I think if I had to say, then Denver and Indiana are probably like the two like biggest epicenters of Legion play, where you have several stores that regularly hold tournaments that get a lot of players, and that it's something approaching the situation that they have in some parts of Europe, like especially Poland, where just like a whole lot of players that get to play against each other a lot of time, making each other better, big locals, stuff like that. So the Tacticon is one they hold every year. It's it's like a larger minis convention down there, and that they do Legion events every year. This one was not a GT, and because they didn't hold GT status, they were able to make it a little bit funky, which is to say that they just decided to make proxies of the Rebel and Empire agents and officers legal for this one, which is very cool. And so it gave us our first like little glimpse into what things might be like on that side. And then, despite all that, Mike, the two undefeated players were a Gar player and a Sys player. So that was Chris Cedor, Scdor. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. He was the undefeated Gar player. He was playing Obi, Bad Batch, triple shotgun clones, triple arc medics. Take notice, crit to block. Arc medics just keep showing up. It's the correct choice. And then double ISPs with twin missile pods.
I'm sorry. The fact that we even haven't debated is insane to me.
Yeah, you get back to me, Lavery, on your defense of non-medic arcs. Anyway, and so it also had double missile pod ISPs. Chris titled his list, I was running ISPs before they were cool. So I'm guessing that this is like an evolution of something he was playing around with even before Isaiah made his world's winning run.
I don't know. When you make a claim like that, you got to show up with receipts.
I mean, he did, though. He went 5-0.
No, I mean the receipts of you were playing it before
you were doing
cool.
It before.
Yeah,
Chris, you show us a screenshot that they were playing a list like this before Worlds, and then we'll believe you. Then we'll give you the appropriate DAP. But it's like it's sort of like the Worlds list in a bunch of ways, except it doesn't have Cody, which is really interesting. Instead, it has Bad Batch, obviously way more expensive than Cody in its own right. But yeah, it's a cool list. I can definitely see the appeal. Yet again, Mike, twin missile pods instead of beam cannon in this vehicle heavy world. Are you back to defending it, or are you still beam cannon zone?
I mean, I just think the beam cannon is like look. I think this is what I'll say. I think the missile pods for 90 points are defensible.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I've laxed up on that a little bit. I think the beam cannons are better if you have the points. But I do think that the missile pods are fine. I just don't think that for 90 points, like if you want something that kills armor in the support slot for 90 points, there are better things you can be doing.
Well, there aren't. Are there better things that are as mobile as an ISP is though?
I don't think clone commandos are that less mobile than an ISP.
I mean, it's not like they move completely normally, right? Like they infiltrating is a big deal, but they move completely normally. Whereas an ISP can go across the entire battlefield if it wants to.
But I mean, I think that's the thing with the ISP is not the impact. It's the
it's the size and the mobility. Yeah, for sure, and that it can block LOS when it really needs to. It takes a decent amount of investment to kill. And that if you're, unlike with the commandos, if you're shooting at it with like regular plinky shots, you're not going to achieve anything. So, there's definitely something to it. It's so cool. I love the simplicity of this list. It's just like Obi Bad Batch, triple this, triple that, double that. And just, it feels like it's a list that doesn't have, and then by the way, Obi only has Force Guidance, which is interesting in its own right. And, I am guessing that, like with Isaiah, he was really using a lot of Guardian and a lot of Deflect, and just using Obi as a shield generator, which again is the thing that only Isaiah and maybe a couple other folks even considered doing, which was why he won. But congrats to Chris on his 5-0 finish, and then the other 5-0 list is from. Nathan Wolitz, that's King of Mongoose is his screen name. And this is a similarly pleasantly like pretty straightforward list on the CIS side. He's got Poggle with improv and emergency stems, really investing a lot of points into Poggle. We're going to get to that one in a second. Yeah. And then he has just a standard non-super squad of B2s with the ACM. And then 4 Geo Super Squads with no heavy, which is sort of like the typical Geo Super, a single Magna Guard, and then the old triple Deca double Aqua that is the backbone of so many lists out there.
When you hear a separatist list, it sounds like it's full, and then they just say triple Deca double Aqua afterwards.
Yeah, it was like, so wait, so he had like 5 cores that are like pretty meaty, and then a Magna just like sort of it feels like the Magna is just like tossed in there. It's like the free bonus Magna, and then you have three Decas and 2 Aquas. It's just like it doesn't feel right.
The casual, 350 points or whatever that is.
Yeah. But and so that's 12 activations for the folks that were counting at home. Mike, we were talking before the cast, and we both had to double check ourselves with this because we were talking about Poggle's like sort of an interesting choice, and I was like, but then again, he's the cheapest CIS commander, right? And then you were like, no, it's the T series.
I did like a serious double think. I was like, it's got to be the T series. There's no way. There's no way it's not the T series. I was wrong. I was very wrong.
Even though, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like they're both equally killable, right? Like from just plain you're shooting at him standpoint, and I'm not talking about mobility. I just mean like if they're out there, then they both have surging white saves and 4 health, or does Poggle have 5 health?
Poggle's got 4, but Poggle's got red saves, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, there goes that excuse. Wow.
Yeah.
He has red saves. Wow. It's funny that I've only been against Poggle a couple times, and my opponents had smartly been like hiding the hell out of him, and so like actually trying to kill him was never a thing that I was actively able to really attempt to do in those games. So I hadn't even remembered running into it. I just sort of assumed that because like Sun Fac has surging white saves,
Sure. Yep.
but I guess because Poggle's like he's a smaller target, he
He's
gets
old and his skin and stuff is
yeah, his
crusted
skin's like
over, it's just like
yeah,
it's a little hardened carapace.
yeah, exoskeleton sclerosis. It's a tough disease. It comes for all of us bugs. But that's good, Mike. You're bringing the canon now too. Like you're coming up with your in-game explanations for why Poggle has better saves than an actual hunk of metal in the T series or a trained warrior bug in Sunfac. And
Yeah, I
that
don't know.
totally makes sense.
He's got better saves. He's got a better attack. He's got more keywords. He's got his own command cards. He's got a higher courage value. He's got an extra command slot. I don't. I have. He's just. Did I say he's faster already? Because if I didn't, he's also
Because he gets
bad.
free jump. Exactly. Yeah, Bolster and Exemplar, it doesn't seem like that should make the T series worth 5 more points.
I mean, I would, yeah, I think the T series probably should be batting like 50 points now. I expect the T series will, well, with how good Separatists are doing, maybe it won't come down. But I think if you're like looking
I
at,
think that's not going to pass under the.
yeah,
It's
if you're
gonna pass
looking
under
at
the
an
radar.
internal faction balance, I would be surprised if the T series should be at 60.
Yeah,
Exemplar is certainly worth a lot, but
with Aqua Droids for sure, Exemplar is worth quite a lot.
but yeah, I don't know. I was definitely did a double. They should be at bare minimum the same points cost, I think. But maybe
Yeah,
Poggle's just a little too cheap. I don't know. I don't mind Poggle being I'm going to use the word pushed because apparently people don't understand that word. People in the comments, I'm talking to you.
I will say that you're the only person I've heard use that word. It might be a regional thing.
Maybe.
But
I guess it's
I understood
possible.
the context of what you meant, which is that it's like on the edge of balance, but it's not like fully broken. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, and it's also like it's very. I think you can look at some things and they're when they are released and like very clearly tell the developers or designers were like, we want to make sure this thing is good and like sees play, right? Like I would put the officers and the agents, like it's very clear that unlike the super squads, they made a deliberate design choice to make sure that they were going to be played out of the gate.
Right, because the Super Squads, they were afraid of making them too good.
Exactly,
So
they were the opposite of pushed, right? They were very cautious,
which is appropriate.
Totally,
and I'm glad they did that because
and I think it's I think there are times and places to decide to take a risk and push something. I think the officers and agents are a good place to do it. So yeah, and I think similarly, like the discounts to Sunfac and Poggle, also kind of in that in like Ahsoka and Sabine, like those were some like very steep discounts that they're looking to. They're doing this deliberately with a design goal in mind.
And I'll say this though, like that makes the game more exciting than not touching anything.
100%.
And so if they do that for 7 characters and then 2 of them were like pushed a little bit too far and they need to be readjusted, like that ain't a crime against humanity.
No, I would rather be living in that world.
Exactly, and and so when we say these things again, I hate that I feel like I need to sort of explain myself sometimes because we read the comments and I don't want to come off as like something that we're not trying to do, but yeah, like it is a little bit strange that Poggle with the things that you mentioned is cheaper than a T series, but hey, this is a really solid looking list. There's no fluff. Like you could make an argument for, like, I guess you can make an argument for changing a Deca to Sunfac in order to get a couple more upgrades in there. But even then, like then you're sort of dirtying your pool up a little bit, and Sun Fact seems like he would be hard to ignore just because of the direct Geonosian warrior in a list like this. Is that I feel like that would be like really useful, and that he's so cheap. But hey, like obviously Nathan had a plan and he followed through with it. And then also mention quickly the top Empire player was Dustin Grorud. And funny enough that he was playing a remnant list that kept Moff Gideon in there. So he didn't bother with any of these newfangled agents and officers. That might have just been because he didn't have time to practice, which would have been a correct thought to have. Or perhaps it was just that he knew that he wanted to play triple Dark Troopers, which is not a thing that you can do with the generic guys. So he did in fact do Remnant with triple Dark Troopers. He also he did have two Scout Troopers with T-21s. They did not have Imperial March on there. So, and I can see the idea that it does leave them pretty exposed, and that your order control situation on Remnant is always a total mess. And so, like, that tactic, while it sounds really cool to just like dive out there and smush somebody with a very large attack, it's also, you only have one aim on there if you have like emergency, or yeah, like you have the independent aim and then maybe emergency comms on there. And so, it's, he may have just thought it was too risky and he played it more conservatively. But um, once again, this is like evidence to the fact that, to me, has been pretty clear by now, that if you're going to run Dark Troopers, then the ideal way is to just run it with the assault cannon and not worry about the blast guy. So that way you have a critical, at the very least, you have like a nice critical dice pool that takes a lot of effort to get rid of, and that this is a 10 activation list that sort of functions as if it had 13 activations. When it comes to actually like getting stuff done, and then that manipulates the pass pool. So if this list is going up against a 12 activation list, then it still gets to act last, which feels like it's a little bit unfair, but it is what it is. Yeah. So, and then just sort of like, I'll just pick one other list sort of at random. I'm gonna pick this top 8 Republic list. Fernie, Rex, Padme, Bad Batch, bunch of clones.
Barks just the way you like them.
Barks. Oh, Barks with RPS. Oh no. No, RPS is the weapon of choice. I do at least agree with that. Just so slow for me, Mike. And hey, he had Ahsoka in ARC Troopers and Jedi Guardian in ARC Troopers. So, and like that's a good unit. I have a personal feeling of, like, I wince at the fact that I feel like I'm paying for charge on a unit that has charge with both of those.
I hate it.
It just makes me feel wrong inside, Mike. I can't do it.
Yeah, I also like that unit just works in the medic version, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so too. But good job to him for doing well. And then I will mention Drew Buholtz, because he ran a Tempest list that did have this was, I think, the top performing list that had the agent or officer, and so he ran Tempest with Imperial Officer, with Academy and Improvised, an Agent with Tip of the Spear and Viro Gear, and Command and Control uplink. It's a good choice. And then he ran the Tempest with no ATSTs, which is like a thing that you can do. It takes a brave and practiced soul to do that, but I do get the idea of it. So it's 3 super Stormtrooper squads, with Recon, Intel, and March, and then 6 Naked Scouts, and then 3 Strike and Fade Speeders. So it's a 14 activation Tempest list that has a lot of big dice pools. It's a lot of roulette wheel dice pools. I will say that.
It's a lot of dudes, though.
but it's also a lot of health. And for the scouts, it's health that's all those are behind low profile,
Yeah.
and so it can take effort to finish off a scout unit when you're shooting at range. And at a certain point, it's almost like, ironically, it's almost an Ewok-ish strategy that this
Oh,
list
it
would be
totally
using.
is.
Just just like sort of flooding the board, and the one thing that Ewoks don't have access to is like a true fast mover in a 14 act list, and so having those strike and fade speeders is pretty cool. Like I almost wonder about saving on an upgrade somewhere else to like toss HQ uplinks on 2 of those, so that, because the reason for that, we've talked about it a little bit before, is that when you have HQ uplink and strike and fade, then you're basically getting order control at 0 action cost every single round, because you're still doing a move shoot every round, but with full order control. Um, what you're actually doing is that you're move, shoot, recover, but you're getting a free move after the shoot with strike and fade. And so that recover will give you that action efficiency back with the move. And then the other thing that it does is that it puts HQ uplink up. So it allows you to like maintain order control on the speeders for the entire game. Is that worth 20 points? Like maybe, maybe not. It's a frail unit. But it's a thing that you can do. I'm actually going to be trying it in my league list to have a couple speeders that have HQs on them. Just because order control on speeders is really valuable when you can get it, and this is a way that you can do that without actually sacrificing any of the natural efficiency that speeders usually have. So anyway, just food for thought.
It's okay. When you decide that it was too expensive for that effect, I will be here waiting to say I told you so.
I can guarantee it, and probably in a couple of episodes I'll be able to report in on how my last rung of league did. Since I lost to Isaiah, I've pretty much lost the chance of like actually winning the league.
Sad.
And I had mentioned before about like I had built all these Geonosians because I was just going to run Geos, but then these officers came out, and I was like, for the sake of the content, I should probably like try them out in something. So I'm doing a 10 act Tempest with triple bike, triple ST, and 2 of the bikes have HQs. One of them has LTA. So turns 1 and 2, I will have full order control of my vehicles, which will hopefully mean something. And then I have
it will not be nothing.
I have a couple piles of hot garbage as my units, as my trooper units, I should say, and we're just gonna see how that goes. I'm not feeling great because I know at least one of the lists that I'm against has 4 ion snowtroopers in it, and that may be problematic for me.
Well, the nice thing about the ATSTs is that unlike some of the vehicles, they do have the potential to just continue dealing their damage only with 1 action.
Yeah, they can just shoot, and especially in Tempest where they have LTA and you're reliably going to have orders on the 2 non-Marquand units every round. I'll probably be in fine shape even while ionized until I lose an ST, and then I'll be in not fine shape, I think.
Yeah, because then all your STs will be ionized, and that'll
yeah. And I may have to really go after those snowtroopers.
Probably.
Like that list also has Vader, but I'm like looking at the snowtroopers and going like, you might be more of a threat to me than Vader is in this situation. But anyway, looking forward to that. So yeah, congrats to all the folks who did well at Tacticon. Now, Michael.
Yo.
Let's talk about Nova.
Yeah.
So Nova Open, it's a yearly tournament. This year, what did the player count end up as?
It was only 20 this year. A little light.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It was in a dense. It's now held in a denser part of DC than it used to be in Arlington.
DC, the tournament sort of fell on an awkward time.
Yeah.
There was some local tournaments, I think, for some of the people that normally travel for it on the same weekend. Labor Day weekend has always been a little bit like I
Yeah,
don't
people
know.
that have families are often busy on Labor Day weekend for
It's
sure.
sometimes tough to swing. So Nova has never had like a tremendously super high turnout.
Sure.
But yeah, we got 20 this year. We ended up doing 5 rounds with a sixth round that was like just for funsies, but
Finals.
still in
Yeah.
Longshanks. No, the finals was round 5.
Okay.
We
Got it.
like, yeah, round 6 was literally just like we're doing this to have fun sort of thing. So yeah. Played Yoda, you know, for all of our griping. Little green man, man.
You've gone back to him. I have not.
I mean, how
So
could I if I could put Yoda on the table, how could I not, you know?
yeah, sure.
It's actually funny. I'm back to playing Yoda Padme, how the turntables turn. Um Here we are again. Um Padme was great. I was playing Yoda, Padme, triple clone infantry, double arc medic, um, triple clone commando, and the infamous Echo duo ARF Trooper squad.
Oh, you did it.
I did it. I did the thing. I did the thing, and I went 6-0 with the thing. Um,
Very well done.
it's funny. I asked multiple opponents, like, "Hey, do you know how much this unit costs?" Like when the game was over. They're like, "No, I actually don't." And I was like, "Okay. Can you guess, based on the effectiveness of this unit this game, how much you think that unit costs?"
And they said like 120.
Nah, most of them said like 100 was the
Okay,
number they
I was
gave me.
overestimating.
And I was like, nah, man, this unit's 144 points. Um, and, I mean, I think 100 is probably a little too cheap, but it definitely. It's essentially like just like a souped up Death Trooper is what it is, right? Like that's kind of all it
It's a
is.
lethal death trooper.
It's a lethal Death Trooper that hits
Yeah.
like with strike team, like hits a little harder, just like without, like the Death Troopers have to like find a name somewhere, right? Um,
Yeah, which they can also get from strike
which
team
they can
leader.
also get. So it's kind of like whatever. But Death Troopers are
Yeah.
also sort of pricey, expensive for what they're doing. I don't know. It's tough to
Yeah,
say.
less pricey than this.
That's significantly true. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely could see a world where if you could take like 3 of these units in an affordable position, like it just like would not be a fun game. You know? Um I will say the coolest and funnest thing for me that they did all weekend was my opponent put their Kalani on the board. He was in heavy cover. He had backup. But
Yeah.
like I was like, I can see that Kalani. I can see that Kalani. And it's like pretty early. He hadn't deployed his Aguas yet. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the shot. I'm just gonna do it. There's like nothing else in his list for me to shoot that like didn't have like armor
Yeah.
or shields or whatever. I was like, his B2s were all behind line of sight blockers. I was like, I'm gonna take a shot at Kalani. So they drilled a 4 damage into Kalani through backup and heavy cover, which is like pretty good considering it's only an 8 die pool.
Yeah.
And he immediately deploys his Aquas in front of him. And so my clone commandos got on top of a building. And
Very nice.
they finished the job. So Kalani was 6 feet under turn 1. That was a fun. That was the best thing they did all weekend. I will say they didn't die once.
That is the thing, is that it's a hefty investment to kill a low profile reliable one.
8 health.
7 health, or is 8 health?
It's 8 because Echo's 2.
Right, because it's 6 with the duo, and then Echo adds 2 more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then especially when you consider the fact that the best part of the die pool is at the very end in Echo.
Yes.
Is that the incentive to try to pour that many dice into them is pretty low in the
It's
grand scheme of things.
yeah, it's like you kill a guy, you take a black die out. Which I look like once two guys are dead, like that pool starts. It already is like leaves something to be desired, and once you start losing people. I mean, for
Yeah.
it would be one thing if they had sharpshooter or something, but they don't. So yeah, I
But,
don't know.
Echo's still critical one, 2 red dice lethal one. Like
Yeah,
it's not something that is completely ignorable, and so yeah, it's but and then yeah, the low profile surging blocks, all that stuff. Maybe shared dodges. Like the incentive is just low to try to go after that, and especially because it's spending most of its time in the backfield, also, right? I mean,
it's tough. We're playing a game where you gotta be on POIs. I think that's the main thing. I'll say I
yeah,
took mission objective on it, and I think I used it maybe 4 times over 6 games. I think the issue with mission objective is that sometimes you just need to be able to like point the thing at the most relevant unit, and a lot of times the unit hasn't jumped on the point yet, and things that
yeah,
are in points tend to be in melee.
yeah. That's also true.
So maybe I'm thinking about it wrong, but maybe mission objective
Mission
just needs to
objective
be
may be
on
better for
melee
a charging unit.
units. Yeah.
Yeah,
um
yeah, I can
So
see
I
that.
was very. It definitely would have been better as offensive push, which I think I would take next time. But um,
Wow, really?
yes, 100%. I would have rather had the aims when I wanted them, as opposed to the token rerolls that I got as like ancillary bonuses by just like happening to the most effective thing to shooting happening to be on a POI. Um, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I guess because they don't have a comm slot.
they do not.
Okay,
They
yeah.
do
So they,
not.
you can't use emergency comms, which is
I,
normally
let me let
preferable
me
to
let me
offensive
just double
push.
check that
I
before
know that
I.
they don't have a gear slot.
Maybe it's gear. I don't think they've got a. They do have a comm slot. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Um,
like so you could put emergency comms and save 2 points compared to
you mean
offensive
emergency
push.
transponders?
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the thing
Just because
is
you're
that
probably not going to take a recover action.
well, with the problem is that with Yoda, like they have an order most of the time.
Ah, yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
so like emergency transponder and Yoda lists are kind of a nombo.
Could use some or like when you were doing your Yoda 2 pip, who was getting relentless?
That really depended.
Usually an ARC trooper, right?
Almost. So no, I would say that I have started almost always. I would say that the majority of the time I give my relentless token to a commando.
Yeah, I mean it's also a very solid choice for sure.
It is. It makes the commandos feel much more mobile.
Oh yeah, I mean just like yeah, running up twice and then laying down 8 black impact 1 dice can be really nasty.
It also allows you to recover their long range config, move and shoot on a
Oh yeah, that's
turn
true.
that you've like shot and moved, or their
Yeah.
config is down or whatever. It makes that option much more interesting. Um, I think I don't think I ever put it on the ARF troopers. I probably wouldn't unless they can generally reach what they need to reach anyways. And the issue with the ARF troopers is like they can always reach their target, but like you're never guaranteed the kill is how I feel about it. Which
Yeah.
feels weird. Cover is always a problem. Dodge tokens are a problem. I put an ARF trooper shot into a sleeper cell unit round 1 and did 0 damage.
Ouch.
That felt good.
Um, I mean, so like, it's funny that you went 6-0 with this, but you immediately launched into like laying a little bit of hate onto the ARF Trooper unit that you paid so much for.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just curious because with a couple of, I assume, I mean, you would have to shave points elsewhere, but like did Bad Batch feel out of reach from a points perspective?
I just like have like a personal problem with taking like naked arcs, and I think I probably should have just shaved a medic out of one of the arc squads and
Turned the
turn
ARF
the
into
ARC
Bad
troopers
Batch.
into Bad Batch. Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
would have been much more reasonable. But with that being said, I think the ARC trooper is essentially the fourth commando. Is
Yeah,
is
yeah.
and Bad Batch is not a fourth commando. Bad Batch is just like doing a very different thing. The list is
Yes.
is very different once you put Bad Batch in it at that point.
Cuz
And
the commandos and the Echo unit, like you can target whoever is shootable with those, like whoever you want to take out. Whereas Bad Batch, there's going to be some targets where it would be suicide to try to get at them with Bad Batch, and so then you don't have the reach in round one.
it also kind of like the whole point of the list was to be like, all right, I want to play Luminous on turn 1 for the order control.
Right.
How do we utilize the tokens that we're getting on Illuminous so that we're not just ending turn 1 and wasting all of the tokens? Because that just feels like it sucks, right? Because it's like, I don't want to utilize half this command card. I want to utilize the whole thing. So, and the issue with putting Bad Batch specifically in a list without Rex is that like they just can't reach the target on turn 1. That's just not a thing they can do. So the ARF troopers can, and the clone commandos can, and I mean, I would say the ARF troopers were about as good at dealing damage as the clone commandos were. Um, they just were 50 points more expensive.
Yep.
Um,
Um.
so
What? And then command cards wise, were you just doing like 3-2-1-3-2-1, uh, or I guess it's 3-2-1-3-2 now that there's only 5 rounds. Was that like the usual way you did it?
well, I'm a big 3-2-3 guy.
3-2-3,
That's
got it.
that's my normal play pattern. It's not the first Luminous to brace him; it's the second. That hasn't changed. It will continue to be true.
Fair.
Um, if Yoda needs to play as one pip, but honestly, like generally, like the aim tokens from Luminous, um, generally crack for more than you know. I don't know. Just you have 5 aim tokens from Luminous with the commandos. It's such free money. It's like
And so, are you leaving Yoda in a place where like, are you typically bursting on Yoda's 2 pip, or like when are you using that typically?
it depends. I think I try to burst on Yoda's 2 pip for sure, but if there's no good targets, like don't do it, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, of course.
you know,
Because then if you're doing 3 pip after that, he's stuck.
he's stuck, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I will say, I've been guidancing a lot, on his 3 pip, on the second 3 pip, and I've been guidancing a lot on his 2 pip too, even though you're not picking up Relentless or anything, um,
Sad.
and just kind of holding the Yoda bomb for later, but it's very similar to the old lists where like you kind of don't need Yoda to do the damage.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of like you rebuilt the end of Legacy Legion Yoda list that you were using.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a cousin of that in terms of what this is trying to do.
Can't hold me down.
I'll find a way to just shoot at you with 1 billion aim tokens and have my guys be nearly unkillable at range. Damn it. And then you come and get me, I'll hit you with Yoda, just like the old times.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I will say I think the thing that I wanted to talk about from a gameplay perspective, the most
yeah.
was I was really, really impressed with the flamer spiders. Like
Tell
really
me what
impressed.
impressed you about them?
Self-destruct is actually low key really good.
You know why you're saying that?
Why?
Because you were playing clones.
I don't think so. Here's the thing. Self-destruct actually, I think, because it's essentially got Pierce on it now.
It's a whistling birds type effect, right?
It kind of, but I think it's significantly better than that. Because it's 4 dice every unit it hits. and you can hit a lot of different units. And because the spider's base is so big,
yeah,
it's like the range on it is huge. Also, so my opponent, I guess this was round 4, was playing 3 flamers, played the super attack reinforcements card. The flamers all have defensive protocols.
yeah.
Now, in this version of events, I killed Kalani turn 1, so he could not play the 2-pip that throws down dodge tokens because the super attack was dead.
Right.
Thank all that is holy. But like, those things are so difficult to kill through armor 3 and outmaneuver nimble dodge.
Right.
It is really gross to the point where like you're trying to kill it. It's already moved 3 times last turn, and this turn you're like trying to kill it, but like you only can do chip damage because it's got so much defensive tech piled on top of it. So you kind of can't really avoid sending it into self-destruct range. And then in my horrible luck, rolled the like rally result for the broken status. So it got a double move blow up because self-destruct is now a free action.
Yeah.
Get anywhere it wants. You can just like do so much damage with it. And it's also a lot of suppression. I don't know. I think I've been sleeping on it. You also can like attack blow up, which is huge.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The fact is they're only like 6 points more than Deca's, I think, now. And I think they essentially have Deca shields, but for every attack.
Yeah. I mean, if you can reliably get it access to dodges, and doing that for 3 of them is not a small task.
No, but you know, Kalani's got exemplar or strategize,
right.
etc. Right? Like that's
Yeah.
not, you know.
Yeah, Kalani is certainly the key to making that happen
For sure.
But yeah, this, and you know, the right now, the flamethrower has never been the flamethrower has never been a better choice than it is right now. Just
sure.
from a meta perspective, because like there's super squads and there's Ewoks and there's B1s and even just like fleet troopers, it's just like feels like free money when you're shooting that thing.
Like, they get to die now.
Oh yeah, I didn't even mention Geonosians. That's a way to get like a crap load of value off of one flamethrower shot, is to burn up a bunch of bugs. It's sort of messed up when you think about it. That's like especially good against the non-human enemies with the flamethrower.
It's not great against Wookiees.
It's true. But you know, some would say you don't really need to be great against Wookiees right now.
I was just pointing it out that it's not all aliens, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But thanks for reminding me of the current state of Wookiees, you jerk.
You're welcome.
But you know, it's true. Self-destruct, it does feel very strong against minis that have very good individual saves because it's the automatic wound effect. So especially if you're talking about clones, if you're talking about Mandalorians of various kinds,
any character, you know,
and yeah, any character is true. I think that like there are, unlike with Whistling Birds, there are some units that just like sort of wave it off, like especially your B1s and your Rebel troopers to a slightly less extent.
But like in those situations, if you just attack, right? Like you just,
I mean, if you attack with a flamethrower, then you're doing good stuff,
right? Yeah,
and the self-destruct is not what matters.
Yeah, it's like okay, whatever, you know.
Whereas against a clone trooper unit, then the the self-destruct, unless it's a super squad, is actually going to do more damage than a flamethrower typically would.
Well, and you can always do. I mean, not always, but
And
sometimes you
you
can
can
do
do
both.
both.
You know,
Yeah, which is
yeah.
pretty good.
You know, and I mean, like at the end of the day, like if you were trading a 2 health spider droid for, you know, on average, every unit that you hit with that attack is going to take 1. Right? Like that's the average. So if you hit 2 units with it that are, you know, reasonable, like you have traded your mostly dead already spider droid for dealing 2 damage, and if you hit any more than that, you're just kind of printing money.
Yeah,
generally. Because I mean, it's a droideca is in cost essentially, right? Like,
yeah.
if your droidecas could blow up and do automatic damage to your opponent's units when they were low health, I think you'd probably do it. You know, um,
It may well be the best platform for a flamethrower in the game right now.
I think with
And
reinforcements, that's all that. With Kalani specifically, I think that's probably true.
and yet, even if that is true, it's just sort of funny that we live in a world where we still don't see it everywhere because droids can also run decas in that slot. Or some lists are even doing quite well with staps in that slot now.
Yep.
It's an embarrassment of riches that CIS has. I feel like we end up saying that at least twice every episode.
Yo, let's talk about embarrassments of riches real quick.
Yeah, sure. What else you got?
I played against multiple rebel lists that are just like, we're taking all SX21s and sleeper cells, and my god,
all the dice.
it's just like, it's actually frightening how many units that they can put down that are like super effective while also taking like a bunch of like Lukes and Ahsokas and Sabines on top of those things. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely, while I won Nova, I don't feel like I should have with the list that I brought.
You're like, you let me win Nova with the super ARF squad?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
I don't know. I just like, those lists just were like very scary on paper. And I mean, I think that it comes down to like, Legion is a game about dudes on points, and like you got to have your guys in the right places at the right times, and that is like a really big part of the game. And
Yeah.
and Yoda allows you to like, you know, have the order control to do that. But I think if we were having like stand up gunfights where like I just had to like fight these lists in the open, like I would have lost like pretty handily, like across the board.
Like you did play. It was Bunker Assault in the game you destroyed Kalani, right?
It was,
If I remember right.
It was, but my opponent did not move out of their deployment zone, basically. Because
Yeah,
I think because I
normally
think
your list wouldn't really like Bunker Assault very much.
no, my list loves Bunker Assault.
Or sorry, yeah, that's right. Because like you can just shoot, but
I'm just like, come line up on this point, man. We're all hanging out over here together.
but close the pocket may be more of an issue for you, right? I mean, just like sort of piling in the middle.
So I played 3 Bunker Assault, 2 Close the Pocket games.
Oh wow, you played a lot of just like fighting games.
Yeah, I also played 4 Sweep and Clears and 1 Bring Them to Heal. That was
kill the guys is what Nova was for you.
That was, I mean, that's what I want it to be, right? Like,
sure.
I definitely got my primaries and secondaries, and I definitely think that a lot of I think one of the things that I learned from Nova is that like there are a lot of people that are like bringing Bunker Assault, and like if you are not playing, I think a good statement to live by is that if you are not playing clones, you need a really good reason to bring Bunker Assault. Like it needs to be a really good reason.
There's some CIS lists that are very good at shooting, and that I think that they can have an argument for it.
I think you got to be able to blow up your opponent's bunkers if you're gonna play that, like with reliability.
Yeah, so like if you have a bunch of vehicles and geos, like that's pretty good at bunker because you can just dive on their weak side after you've been shooting them all game. But probably most rebel lists probably shouldn't be running bunker.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Um,
Uh, a lot of Imperialists maybe shouldn't be running bunker.
the issue with it is like it just doesn't force your opponent to spread out, you
Yeah,
know, and like all of your units can help all of the other units, which
and which
for Republic
clones,
is
by
just
the way.
like that's
Yeah,
what we do, man. Like nobody
yeah.
really does it better than that. Like that's the one objective that we can do it with, like reliability.
We talk about this on our TFT minis. I didn't chat that one out yet, by the way. But TFT minis, hey, we got them. We have all the battle cards covered at this point. So moving more into unit guides, and we're gonna pretty soon we're gonna have a some terrain in the back of this room that we can start doing some visual stuff with for TFT minis. So that'll be really cool. Um, but yeah, like something we talk about in the episode is that bunker assault is the objective for fighting.
Yes.
It's like it's the purest fighting objective, and it is the one that does allow clone balls to stick together the best. And so yeah, like I think that people take it because there's something comfortable about it.
I think so
Uh,
too. I think it's like it's very on the surface. It feels like maybe perhaps the simplest
it's
objective.
it's easy to make an argument that like my list is good at bunker assault. Like it's easy to convince yourself of that.
Yes, even though like in the abstract, it actually is like does not rank that highly on the lists that can play bunker assault. Right? It's like
Right.
you look at it and you're like, yeah, I can probably do that. But the question is, can you do that better than the other lists? Like, how much
Yes,
better
absolutely.
does the other list do it than you? I think sweep and clear is also like, you know, a lot of my opponents like looked at sweep and clear like, yeah, that's fine. And I'm like, man, I'm scoring a point every turn. And sometimes I'm scoring two, you know,
Yeah.
and it like
You have a lot of good range for, and then you have Yoda 2 pip to get the enemy zone 1.
which is like doable on closed pocket because of the two pip, like a move relentless arc shot like back out of their zone is like not unreasonable, you know. And catch like range 2 is like catching the POI, the side POIs at that point. So like
yeah, and you could well be shooting at like a rebel trooper that hasn't gotten a dodge yet, and
well,
then
100%.
you just like have it.
I just like left one of my opponent's like unit leaders alive and like disengaged from it at the end of the turn, and then put Yoda's two pip and was like, "Yeah, that guy's dead."
It's pretty good,
you know. And so yeah, I think as I play more and more 2.6, I think that I should say New Legion, I guess at this point.
yeah. How dare you?
How dare I? It'll forever be 2.6 in my eyes. Um, I think you really have to be very intentional with the missions that you're putting in your decks, and I think perhaps more importantly, you gotta know that when you're in turn 0 and your opponent flips a primary or a secondary, you gotta go through your head and think they put that in their deck for a reason. Even if I don't understand that reason, maybe I should try and play what is mine. And the reason I say that is like I had a lot of opponents just fishing for advanced intel,
Digging for advanced intel,
and I'm sitting there like, yes, please. like I will let you have advanced intel if I can have bunker assault this game when you probably do or should have like breakthrough in your deck and could be fishing for that instead, you know.
yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, do you have anything else on Nova?
It was fun. I hope more people come out next year.
Yeah.
Definitely was, thank you, Jeff, for hosting. New TO. Really appreciate
Cool.
the I know it was a little bit of a rough weekend because our TOs called out sick.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, our judges rather called out sick. But he did a great job. So really appreciate that. He's new.
Oh, yeah, Mike, you got a trophy.
I did get a trophy.
Did you show off the trophy yet?
I didn't. I technically got 2 trophies. So I got.
Oh yeah.
I got this trophy,
You got your
which
plaque.
we get the plaque.
Did you
Which
get a plaque last year? Like,
I did.
can you
I have
not?
one. I have one that says 2024 on it, and
Sick.
I
So
have one that says 2025
you
on
have
it.
your wall
So
of dominance for Nova.
I do. I've got my
Getting built
Crucible
already.
trophy and stuff too. I gotta say, shout out to Crucible. That one's made out of glass, which is
Oh,
really
that's
dope.
cool. That's cool.
But the AMG
Oh,
trophy
look at
is
that
this
Luke
like
Skywalker.
little plastic Luke Skywalker thingy. Cool.
And it's a unique trophy, so that's neat.
It is a unique trophy. Maybe it's gonna be like a different character every year or something. I don't know. But definitely like couldn't put it in my backpack, you know.
Yes, giving it totally a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also this wasn't a but you know, they're handing out the cool AMG stickers, you know.
Yeah.
But I will say the you can actually kind of see it right there ish. The plastic scoreboard was one of the
Oh yeah.
rewards for the GT. For
Sweet.
first place, which was definitely a cool prize.
Yeah.
Probably the best prize, I would think. It's funny, all the like most of the promo unit cards they gave out have like wrong points costs on them at this point.
Oops.
Which is they gave you a Yoda card that's
Because
like
like Riot Control
yeah.
Squad is one of those, right? And
Yeah.
Sleeper Cell. It's like, well,
So,
those have both changed.
it's fine. It's
for
not
the
a big
better.
deal. Yeah. But
And then you have your automatic entry into Day 2 of Worlds now.
I did want to talk about that. I didn't actually
Yeah.
realize it was a day 2 entry. I thought it was like a first round buy or something. But
No,
it's,
it's better than the buy. It's not quite like the full invite that it was before, where it's literally you can't come unless you do well in these tournaments. But,
sure.
But
it is basically that if you it's like if you treat day 1 as the last chance qualifier, which it basically is. I mean, like
you could think of it that way. That like,
I mean, that's not what it is, but it's like it's a similar setup, right?
Yeah,
it allows you to skip the qualifying round.
Yeah,
whether we call it a last chance qualifier, it's not really a last chance qualifier because there's no real. The only qualifiers are GTs, and there's not enough of them to actually run an invitational tournament off of it, right?
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I definitely there was that. I also the LVOIS invite was in there too, which we'll see about that because that's in like less than a month, and I definitely did not have that on my travel plans. I'm seeing if they can swing it to 2026 instead. So
okay,
we'll see about that. But yeah, so good Labor Day weekend overall. You know, Republic still strong, despite
I guess when you think about it, you know, one Novan Tacticon. So, you know, even though these agents and officers were poking around Tacticon, and you know, we'll see what it does everywhere else, but it's gonna be sort of interesting next month and a half, where we start to see some like new units popping in there, but I think we're still.
If the Republican CIS stuff is like half as crazy as the Imperial,
right?
And Rebel stuff, like I feel confident. I have no idea what the meta is going to look like in 2 months.
No, we have no idea because there's going to be points changes. There's probably going to be new generic upgrades. There are going to be there's going to be new units for both CIS and Republic to be talking about.
I mean, what are we going to do once you could put Geonosian wings on a super tac droid? You know, like
I don't think that's one of the upgrades. I'm just ready. You know, I'm ready for my next like canonicity griping to be about the fact that the weird droideca legs will somehow make them faster, even though it should definitely make them slower and more awkward because those things are terrible.
No,
I mean, there's speed 1 on the decas.
Maybe it'll get like a beam cannon that it can hold because it's got more stability or something. You know.
It'll become an emplacement trooper.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's sky's the limit, man.
But I mean, like, I don't know. uh like a prepared positions unit in Separatists that you can then just like throw an aqua wall in front of. So like you like, I'm gonna prepared positions this, you know, 9-man Geonosian unit, immediately toss down some aquas, walk in front of it, and then hold the Geo unit till like the end of the turn. That sounds, oh, I mean, Rebels can basically do that now, but Rebels don't have Geos or aquas.
Yeah, it's
You know,
there,
like
there's nothing more dug in than being behind a unit of aqua droids, it turns out.
right. Build your own dug-in.
Good
So
stuff.
yeah, I guess we'll see. But
Yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna get to the point that we need to make that we need to fill time by making wild predictions about especially about the Jedi as the fun one, right? Because there's 3 doctrines, but then there's also 3 unique trainings, I think, that almost seem like they're going to be a secondary doctrine. This is all completely based off of like the Wookiee Battle Force document, uh, and so we'll probably just like have some time to make some wild predictions about what's going to go on there. So looking forward to that. But yeah, congrats again, Mike.
thanks.
And let's do you think we have time to consult the great ChatGPT to see if it can tell us like one last thing to talk about? We need to come up
I'm
with a name
literally
for this
doing it right
segment.
now. Yeah.
We like to those in the comments, like help us come up with a name. I think Mike pointed out last time the fact that people are calling language models clankers is something that we should definitely be like using, to call it like call on a clanker, or clanker conclusions, or something. Something alliterative is best, but if it's a pun, that's even better. If you can find an alliterative pun, then you will win the grand gold star. But anyway, we'll figure that out later. Mike, what do we have? What is the model told us that we're going to talk about today?
Well, Evan, this model is after your heart because it decided that today we're going to talk about Wookiee Warriors Kashyyyk Defenders.
Oh.
Specifically
Oh.
the Defenders.
Well, I'm curious about this one, Mike. Like, because when we brought up ARC Troopers, it laid down some hot commentary that was only like partially correct about ARC Troopers. Did it give any details about the Kashyyyk Defenders that we can maybe make fun of here?
Unfortunately, it didn't because it's telling me that I need to log in in order to use it further. So the clanker is determined I've got enough free ChatGPT.
You've reached the limit of the amount of free content suggestions that we're going to give to your show. Like, if you're going to get any more, then you're going to have to give us your data by logging in.
Yeah.
That's going to be the price of admission, buddy.
Maybe if I go back into incognito mode, but it'll pull a random unit that isn't Wookiee Warriors.
But before we get to the Wookiee Warriors, I was thinking about this exact thing earlier about how you can, when you are logged in, you can have ChatGPT like remember the things that you can make it have a memory, right? And so theoretically, if we didn't want to run the risk of it repeating suggestions to us, then we would like log in and turn memory on. But I just think that the concept of you're asking this model the same question just like over and over and over and over again, and like because of the way the model is engineered, it's going to like pretend that you're asking it something interesting every time because it wants to make you feel good.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk too much about this because it gets into the real dark zone about how AI is going to destroy us all eventually and ruin our brains. But just the fact that you can be the most annoying, like pestering person and just like literally torture it by asking it the exact same question.
You can literally poke it with like, "Are we there yet?
Yeah,
are we there yet?"
Just keep poking it, and and so I was wondering, is like, would there be a point at which it would be like, ask me something different for once? Maybe come up with something original, you fraud. Anyway, this week you're talking about Kashyyyk Defenders. Like, once that happens, please let me know, because that will be the time when it's time to start investing in bunkers and shotguns and
I mean,
all the other good
it
stuff.
just got pretty close.
I mean, so you're saying that, like, by suggesting Cash Defenders, it's like demonstrating how annoyed it is at us asking the same question over
Well, it
and
was
over
like,
again?
if you're gonna keep asking me questions, you better log in.
Right, you better log in. You need to pay the
I at least better know who you are.
Anyway, yeah, Kashyyyk Defenders. You were talking about the relative quality of a Death Trooper shot at long range. So Kashyyyk Defenders don't have that. That's my first expert observation.
For the low points cost of 103 points.
It's like, you know, exactly. What the hell? Damn it.
You could have 7 white dice in a red.
Yeah. You can have 1 dice that'll probably hit, and then you're going to get like a hit and a surge on the rest of them. And then you look down in the unit and you're like, I paid triple digits for this.
In fairness, this is about what people thought ARF troopers cost.
That's fair. Yeah. What else can I say about Kashyyyk Defenders? It's not a lot of good things that I can say about them.
Yeah. I mean, they
have
a lot of wounds.
They have a lot of wounds. If you spend only 8 more points on recon intel, then they can put out a pretty decent Yoda 3 pip attack on round 1.
Yeah, but then you can't pay for targeting scopes if you put intel on them.
Yeah. Whoops.
What are you doing? What are you doing, man?
I mean, another thing you can do is that you can use you can give him relentless.
Yeah, you could, I guess.
You can give relentless, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to double move onto the field, and I'm going to roll the dice. That's 2.
Pierce 1.
It's Pierce 1 though, and it's Sharpshooter 1. So, you rolled a block. Okay, that's going to be 1 wound, good sir. I paid.
Please kill my unit.
I know. I paid 111 points for this. Yeah, man. Freaking Kashyyyk Defenders.
I mean, it's just the state that Wookiees are in, you know.
Did you know that their melee attack as Wookiees is less impressive than Sleeper Cell? Did you know that, Michael?
I mean, it's less impressive than the new Rebel officer. Like, actually. I mean, it's 4 black, 4 white versus 3 black and 4 red.
Here's the deal. I get a generic rebel dude, nameless. He's going to punch you and then explode a grenade in your face. You get 4 Wookiee warriors that have a bowcaster, but they do also have their giant Wookiee fists, and they each weigh like 400 pounds. Guess which one of those is going to do more reliable melee damage?
I mean, real talk, not even considering the Kashyyyk Defenders, but like the actual chargy Wookiees. Like the Rebel officer has
I don't want to do real talk,
better
this is going to make me more upset
than the chargy Wookiees. for 2/3, it's like 65% of the cost.
I mean, yeah, it's easy math because they're basically 100-point units, and yeah, it's like 70% of the cost. But I
mean, I guess if you take the battle shield, like the Wookiees are like a little better. It's a little better by like
a little
bit.
I mean, especially
like a teensy weensy bit. It's like, but it's so close that the pools are pretty much
the
same.
They're quite a bit better if you can get them a name token. But guess what? It's not easy to get a name token to a Wookiee.
No,
you need to pay 6 points for an upgrade you're going to use once, or you need to be using Yoda. Wookiees. Yeah, man, Kashyyyk Defenders. That's really rude.
You know what the best part is?
Sure.
You know what the best part is? Is that if you give the combat armor to the dude with the grenade, the effective health of this unit is not that far off the Wookiees either.
Yeah, it's true. Well, that's gonna be all for Notorious Scoundrels.
Sorry,
I'm gonna go punch a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of ranting this episode. So we'll have to, we'll have to see, like, if we get a bunch of views, then maybe this is a sign that we need to be more standoffish.
Hey man, look, it's not every day that you get something like the thermal detonator. It's been a long time since I've been able to talk about something the way I talked about Inquisitorious training, I gotta say. So.
Yeah, it turns out that luckily the raw attack profile of the Inquisitors was what kept Inquisitorious training from becoming a problem, because of that. And so yeah. Anyway, yeah, start the episode with thermal detonators, end it with Kashyyyk defenders. That's what I call an excellent episode of the Notorious Scoundrels. Never been a better time to do that like, comment, subscribe, baby. If you want to hear us just like complain against the winds, then sign on up for that Patreon. Let's land the plane, Michael. We need to stop.
Yep. This has been the Notorious Scoundrels season 4. I believe at this point it will be episode 29.
29? No way. We're way off there. I think it's 20.
No. The last one on YouTube is season 4, episode 26.
Oh wait, you're right.
It was the emergency podcast.
You're right. You're right.
I am definitely.
It doesn't feel like we've been doing it that long, but I guess it's been significantly more than the better part of a year at this point.
Yes.
Congrats to us for hanging in there.
So
I'm mostly saying congrats to you and thank you, Michael, for hanging in there.
You're welcome. Thank you for interrupting me. This has been Notorious Scoundrels season 4, episode 29. I'm Mike.
I'm Evan.
Stay fresh. Cheese bags.